All right, everybody, I'm Michael Madole. This is the Transcrete AM35. It is used for pumping shotcrete or pouring concrete, but the entire goal of it is we can hook hose up to it, put some air pressure on it, and the result is what you'll see on the wall. As this thing runs, it runs off this entire battery pack. So you turn this thing on, you can adjust your speed as well as your volume on how much shotcrete you're pushing out. The entire thing starts, you walk yourself over here, you'll have a 90 hooked to this with the hose. The hose will run towards the end of wherever we're shooting, and we have a nozzle that hooks up to that with air, and the air pressure with the concrete pushes out and it allows it to compact and stand on a vertical wall. Now the entire thing while it's running, you have a couple different things on this monitor for you to run. This is your control module, so this will run how fast or how slow your RPMs are, as well as your on or off button. So this is your whole control PCM for the entire machine. This controls just it running and operating. When you come over here, we've got a couple switches. You have your forward and reverse. When you're going to actually pump shotcrete, you want to keep it in forward. That allows the momentum to push through the hose and spray out. There are times though when you're either getting a truck or you just have mud that's gotten too dry where it can get itself caught up in the hose, and you'll put that into the reverse mode. You'll turn your pump on, it'll reverse the pump, pull the mud back, and then it'll try to loosen up that clog. You'll push it back forward again, turn it on, and hopefully it pushes out whatever's clogged. Now, the entire time while you're running this, you want to be very careful to be watching whoever's running the hose. And if you can't see them running the hose, you need to have somebody that's in your eyesight that can let you know when they need it turned off, because you are the lifeline to that person. If something goes wrong, the quicker you can turn that off, the quicker they're in a better position. As this is running, when you're not needing to operate it at all, you switch yourself to off, which is in the middle position here. That keeps the machine off. Everything will stay running. In better situations, we also have a remote, which you can switch to this, and whoever's running the pump will have the remote actually on them so they can turn their on and off as well. So all you're worried about is the mud. So as the pump is running, the number one thing you want to check on is this. This right here is the mixer. It originally starts in this mode pulled just straight ahead. You want to pull it to yourself. As you do that, in here, there's a mixing coil that'll come around, it'll mix the concrete and it keeps it agitated so it stays in motion. Because when concrete sits for too long, it wants to set itself. This allows it to keep moving, it's keeping the concrete alive. As it's pumping, you'll hear two strokes and it will swing from left to the right, and that's just it pushing concrete through the concrete cups, out your hose, so that you can spray it over here. While you're operating this rate cannot be up, it has to stay down the entire time. The second it gets above about here, it'll kill the entire machine and stop it from pumping. So this always needs to stay down unless you're cleaning it out. So if you're ever having an issue when you're going to clean out and you're like, why isn't it pumping? Everything should be up. And this is sitting up, you'll never get it to pump. If you're cleaning, you can pick it up, do your stuff, then make sure to always put it back down. When you go to wash out, the other thing you're looking for too, after you're done pumping concrete, is you want to kick this trap door open, which has got a nice little handle here. It'll dump out whatever excess water or concrete you have. Comes out of that little trap door. You'll have a slide bucket or a swimming pool that's like over there, and it will catch the majority of the debris that comes out. Once you've got that all cleaned up, everything's taken off, you'll run a hose down the actual swing tube itself. Reverse mode, you'll turn it on and it will start pushing out all the mud that's sitting inside the machine. You have two concrete clumps that don't fully get completely cleaned out unless you run back through the swing tube. So you pump all that concrete out, you're clean, good to go. Now the difference between this pump and the other pump we have is this is all run off hydraulics. You have these handles here, and while you have power on, you press this jog button, you swing it back and forth, and it'll either bring your legs out or it'll pick your legs up. Anytime you're running this pump specifically, this thing cannot be hooked up to anything. It needs to have the legs down on both sides and the leg down in the front to ensure that it's properly positioned and it will operate. Otherwise, if you do not have that, this thing will be jerking back and forth and it won't stay steady. It'll kill the machine. Now, if we ever go to the other pump, you have to stay hooked up to a vehicle because it does not have the same feature, but with this one, it'll stand on its own. It's a relatively simple machine. As long as you just follow what I just kind of took you through, you'll be able to pump this no problem. But your entire goal as running as a pump operator is when the concrete's coming through, you can never trust that it's going to be clean, that the rock's right, that they don't have some kind of dried concrete in their mixer already. If that comes through, the entire time you're going to sit here with a glove and you're working the concrete through. You're looking for anything that doesn't seem like it's going to flow right. Because if it gets through from where I am, it'll make it to the hose down to where they're shooting. And with those rubber nozzles at the end, it'll expand and it'll, like a balloon, and it'll blow up. And when it blows up, someone can get seriously hurt. So it's something you got to keep an eye on. You got to always be listening, and you always want to be paying attention to what your PSI pressure is. If as you're pumping, one of these PSIs pick up and it doesn't look like it's stroking anymore, it's stroking between 1 and 2, then you've got a clog somewhere. So you got to throw it into reverse, try to loosen that clog up. Sometimes it'll break it through, sometimes not. And if it does not, someone's going to need to take hammers and just kind of bang on the hose until you can loosen up whatever sand plug or whatever piece of concrete is in there that's not allowing everything to flow properly. But besides that, that is all you pretty much need to run one of these pumps.